the tiny spark that ignited the Industrial Revolution. When you think about the Industrial Revolution, you might picture massive factories, huge machines, and sweeping societal changes. But what if I told you that this world-changing era actually began with a tiny, almost overlooked spark? In the first 60 seconds, let's uncover the shocking truth. It wasn't grand designs or colossal inventions that launched mechanization. It was often small, seemingly insignificant discoveries that set off a monumental shift. For example, the improvement of the steam engine by James Watt, a small but critical innovation that boosted efficiency and opened the floodgates for industrial growth. This tiny upgrade led to mass production, urbanization, and the reshaping of economies worldwide. The ripple effects were staggering. Jobs created and destroyed, societies transformed and disrupted, environments forever changed. What's really controversial is how these early discoveries disrupted traditional livelihoods and intensified social inequalities. While the steam engine powered progress, it also fueled exploitation, grueling labor, and harsh living conditions for many. So, the Industrial Revolution is both a story of human ingenuity and a cautionary tale about unchecked change. If you want to dive deeper into how these small sparks led to dramatic global transformations, stay with us until the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like to follow this journey of eye-opening discoveries. How a simple pen changed global communication. When we think about communication revolutions, we often focus on the internet or the printing press. But before all of that, a small innovation, the humble pen, changed the way humans share ideas, thoughts, and histories worldwide. This tiny device transformed societies by making writing more accessible, portable, and efficient. Before pens, people relied on primitive tools and bulky materials like brushes, reeds, or stone chisels, which were slow, costly, and inaccessible for most. The invention of the quill pen and later the fountain pen turned writing into a daily practice rather than a rare event. This small change empowered education, bureaucracy, and record-keeping, fueling the rise of complex civilizations. The far-reaching impact of the pen is often overlooked because it's so commonplace today. Yet it quietly supported revolutions in literature, law, politics, and art. Controversially, the pen also helped spread propaganda and misinformation, proving that even the simplest tools can shape history for better or worse. This topic explores how such a simple innovation shaped the world's ability to communicate and preserve knowledge, laying the groundwork for every major cultural shift that followed. The invisible force behind modern electricity. Few can imagine that electricity, which powers the entire world today, had its roots in seemingly small and invisible discoveries that would have seemed miraculous to people just a few centuries ago. This invisible force, discovered and understood gradually, completely changed how we live, work, and connect. At first, electricity was a dangerous mystery, almost magical for the science of the time. It was through experiments with static charges and the work of pioneering scientists like Benjamin Franklin, Alessandro Volta, and Michael Faraday that this energy began to be captured, controlled, and widely used. Imagine, a tiny spark triggered an energy revolution that led to factories, lighting, instant communication, and today's digital globalization. But the controversy lies in the price of this revolution. Progress came with environmental impacts, the exploitation of natural resources, and inequality in energy access. Thus, the invisible force that lights up the planet also reveals one of humanity's greatest challenges. In this topic, we'll dive into this fascinating and controversial universe, showing how small steps in understanding electricity changed the course of history forever. The small gadget that revolutionized navigation. Have you ever wondered how ancient sailors crossed unknown oceans long before modern technology? What many overlook is that this ability came from small but powerful discoveries like the compass. This small device, often underestimated, completely changed the way the world was explored and connected. The introduction of the compass allowed sailors to navigate accurately, even during storms or starless nights, paving the way for the age of discovery. The impact was profound. Global trade, colonization, and cultural exchanges were accelerated thanks to this simple but revolutionary tool. However, this small revolution also brought controversial consequences: conflicts, exploitation, and even the destruction of local civilizations. a change that shows how small advances can create big waves, both good and bad. In this topic, we explore the decisive role of the compass in human history, showing how a seemingly simple artifact can alter the course of civilization. From Pasteur to today, the power of microbes. For a long time, microbes were invisible and feared, only associated with disease and contagion. But the true revolution was understanding that these tiny beings play a crucial role in life, from our body composition to transforming the environment. This small discovery changed medicine, agriculture, industry, and even how we view health forever. Louis Pasteur was a pioneer in proving that germs cause disease, paving the way for vaccines, antibiotics, and modern hygiene practices. Without this knowledge, countless deaths in the past would have been inevitable. But the impact goes much further. Microbes are used to produce food, treat waste, and even in renewable energy research. The controversy lies in the fact that, despite advancements, much about the microcosm remains unknown, and we face challenges like bacterial resistance and global pandemics. What once seemed like a tiny microscopic discovery keeps shaping humanity's fate, driving never-before-seen advances and challenges. In this topic, we explore how an invisible universe became fundamental to our existence and the future of the planet. The discovery that made medicine personal. Medicine as we know it today was revolutionized by a discovery that seemed small but forever changed how we treat diseases. Genetics. Understanding DNA and genes opened a new chapter in health, allowing personalized treatments, accurate predictions, and disease prevention. Before this discovery, medical treatment was often generic and impersonal, with varied and unpredictable results. With advances in genetics, scientists began unraveling how each individual uniquely responds to medications, diet, and environmental factors. This small key changed the game, creating opportunities for tailored therapies and increasing chances of cure. However, this revolution also raised controversial issues around ethics, privacy, and unequal access to personalized medicine. What initially seemed like progress for all now faces challenges of commercial exploitation and exclusion. In this topic, we'll examine how genetics, a seemingly small scientific discovery, altered the medical landscape and continues to pave new paths for global health. How a single seed transformed agriculture. Many don't realize that the foundation of our food and economy is tied to a simple discovery: seed cultivation. The act of selecting, planting, and domesticating a single seed revolutionized how humans survive, allowing for the rise of early civilizations and the development of complex societies. Before agriculture, communities relied solely on hunting and gathering, an uncertain and limited way of life. The introduction of cultivable seeds represented a qualitative leap: control over food, storage, and specialization of labor. Small advances in this area led to the invention of farming tools, grain trade, and ultimately humanity's domination over the environment. However, this agricultural revolution didn't come without controversy. Its expansion caused deforestation, local climate changes, and even conflicts over fertile land. This tension between progress and environmental impact remains one of the main dilemmas we face today. In this topic, we explore how seed domestication, a seemingly simple discovery, shaped the modern world, its impact, and its challenges. The little formula that changed physics forever. Not every revolution needs a grand invention. Sometimes, just a few symbols and a simple idea are enough to transform our understanding of the universe. Albert Einstein's E=mc² equation is one of those cases. A compact formula with overwhelming power that showed the world the relationship between energy and matter and completely changed the course of science. Before this discovery, many followed classical theories that limited physics to what was visible and tangible. With E=mc², new fields opened: nuclear energy, astrophysics, and advances including our own understanding of the universe's origin. Behind the simplicity of the equation lies a controversial legacy, from the development of destructive weapons, as well as the generation of clean energy, to ethical and existential debates with no easy answers. This small breakthrough, often underestimated outside academic circles, continues to inspire doubt, admiration, and controversy. It's living proof that small details, when well understood, can revolutionize everything. In this topic, we'll dive into the history and impact of that formula which forever changed how we see the cosmos and human potential. The accidental invention that shaped daily life. Behind many of the world-changing advances lies pure chance, discoveries made through mistakes, unexpected experiments, or simple curiosity. The invention of plastic, for example, began as an attempt to find substitutes for expensive or rare materials and ended up transforming everything from food packaging to modern medicine. It's shocking to think that a product created by accident has become indispensable, present in nearly everything we use daily. Plastics, microwaves, penicillin, and even the Post-it are examples of minor accidental discoveries that reshaped habits, jobs, and even lifestyles across every continent. But not everything is perfect. The controversial side of these inventions is seen in environmental issues, waste, and new social challenges caused by dependence on convenience. What seems merely useful may hide long-term consequences humanity is still struggling to solve. In this topic, we'll reveal how accidental discoveries, often overlooked at first, can reinvent collective lifestyles and spark urgent debates about responsibility and sustainability. The small step that launched humanity to the moon. Few achievements are as iconic as humanity's arrival on the moon. But behind this historical feat lies a series of small discoveries and subtle advances that, together, turned the impossible into reality. The development of lightweight materials, solutions for surviving outside Earth, precise mathematical calculations, and even tweaks to everyday tools were crucial for bringing the greatest technological leap of our species to life. What few realize is that the space race was filled with mistakes, breakthroughs, and last-minute improvisations, all rooted in seemingly trivial discoveries. Every detail, no matter how small, played a decisive role. From microchips that could process data at record speeds to efficient communication systems that guaranteed astronaut safety. At the same time, this controversial achievement sparked intense debates about resources, political power, and the limits of human advancement. Was it truly worth the investment to reach the moon when so many challenges remained here on Earth? The small step became a symbol of progress, and also of eternal controversy. If you want to know how small discoveries forever changed the course of history and still impact the present, watch the video until the end, subscribe to the channel, and leave a like to get more stunning content.